There are several thousand collisions involving trains each year, which result in over 1,000 injuries and several hundred deaths. A majority of these deaths occur when someone is struck by a train while trespassing on railroad property. Remember, railroad property is private property. Trespassing along railroad property is not only against the law, it's very dangerous. Avoid taking shortcuts. The only safe place to cross railroad tracks is at a designated crossing. Don't get caught dead on the tracks. Stay off, stay away, stay alive.
Visit elmhurst.org to explore the new City of Elmhurst website. Find out the latest Elmhurst news, pay utility bills and parking tickets, report concerns, and much more. Elmhurst.org is an ideal way to discover what Elmhurst offers your business, your family, your life.
We appreciate you being cozy this evening. It's spring, so even though the weather doesn't say that, it is a spring concert, and I want to welcome you to our biannual Orchestra Festival. Behind me, we have students from grades 4 through 12 representing all 12 of our schools. So before we get started, why don't we give these young musicians a hand right away. Also, as long as we're warming up our hands, let me introduce our orchestra directors, Ellen Gary, Stephanie Lynn, Barbara Scott, and Ray Oswald from the high school. We appreciate your support and all your help in our music program. It's a great orchestra program that we have here. And these directors and the students have put a lot of time in, including being together today to put this concert together. So I hope that the audience will appreciate their outstanding efforts. This is like a concert hall, so we expect you to behave as such. We appreciate the phones being turned off and having this orchestra come together for you. So without further ado, introductions to the Total Elmhurst Orchestra Concert. The first group is the Prep Orchestra under Miss Ellen Gary. job. Our second group is the Combined District 205 Intermediate Orchestra under the direction of Mrs. Stephanie Lynn. Combined Intermediate Orchestra. Our third group this evening is the combined District 205 Middle School Concert Orchestra under the direction of Ms. Barbara Scott. introduce the final group, let me just, as superintendent of schools, thank you for your support of the arts, parents, grandparents, and friends. I want to thank you for your tax dollars to support this kind of education. I want to thank you for your dedication and encouraging your students to be involved in the arts by putting in the long hours and probably sometimes the arguments to get the practice in on a daily or weekly basis. But this kind of gift to these students is irreplaceable, and we couldn't do it without your support. So on behalf of District 205, a sincere thank you. And finally this evening, please welcome the York High School Orchestras under the direction of Mr. Ray Oswald.
Good evening, and again, thank you so much for being here and for your support. I appreciate Superintendent Pernod's remarks, and thanks to my colleagues, the other string teachers, to you as the parents, and of course to our outstanding music students here. We could extend pages and pages of thank yous because of involving all 12 schools and our music department. This is due to teamwork and collaboration of all of our instrumental teachers, band and orchestra, grades 4 through the high school, my colleagues here at York High School, all of our support groups, and certainly the elementary general music, where the foundations of music appreciation and musical knowledge are set in the early years. It's absolutely a community team effort that produces what you're seeing here. And it does some magical things. You know that already. It can make you feel good. It can make you feel emotional. It can touch you in a way that you're just not quite sure why that's magical, but we know we enjoy hearing it, and we know we enjoy being a part of it. But never forget the process going on to get here. We consider this a culminating event. We consider this sharing with you, important family and friends and colleagues, what we've been doing in the classroom. But I said it in a rehearsal just a day ago to my students. I said, I wish we could bring each and every one of you into the process, to see the process, the learning, the collaboration, what we're doing, what we're instilling, and what we're exercising in your sons and daughters' brains, as well as their coordination and their broad knowledge of how these musical works of art fit into the rest of history and the rest of their education, and the academic side of the rhythms and the math and the social studies and the history and the science and everything that comes into it. Believe me, we enjoy this culminating activity as that celebration, but I hope you also dig deeper and think deeper into what's happening on a daily basis in our rehearsals and, of course, in the individual practice and the private lessons that the students have and all of these things. It really is a magical process, but also a very studied, planned, scientific, curricular process going on here. And all of it creates what you get to hear tonight, the progress over the years, and it is really something. I do want to add to the thank yous, we're always thinking, what can we do in everything we do just a little bit better, and we want to throw a special thank you out to our colleague Barbara Scott. We needed a better way for the students to figure out during the rehearsals, in and out, and the busing, where to put their things, and she created these wonderful signs that we decided ought to stay out here that have the school colors and the school symbols from every school, and I think that's a wonderful representation of what's going on here, but also indicative of how the teachers are working. Yes, we could simply have put a sign up that says Emerson. But no, let's get the colors and the mascots in there and throw the pride and do it right. That's what we're going to do. We're going to do it right, not just do it. We have a quick homework assignment for you. Some of you heard this before, and I hope you did well on your homework assignment. A lot of people are here. We appreciate you being here. Not quite everyone in the community is here, and that's okay. There's a lot going on. But we ask that everybody here, this is your assignment, parents, tell somebody who's not here what you saw and what you heard and how great it was. And just let them know, hey, this is going on. And this is a wonderful thing, and I sure am glad that my son or my daughter is a part of it. Spread the good word. We appreciate the media coverage. We love that Comcast is here and making that available via the local television next month. But we know that every media outlet may be focused on some other things. I don't know, who are the Bears re-signing? Is it going to snow during our spring break? They've got a lot of news to report, but you can be the reporters of what's important going on here. For the overachievers in the crowd, and I know you're out there, parents, I've met your children. Tell a principal, tell a board member, tell someone in another school district that maybe doesn't have as well supported or thriving a string orchestra or music program. Write a letter, send an email. The assignment will not be methodically assessed as we do with your students' work. But I'll trust you on that on the honor system. And the real assessment is 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, when these students' children are here, is it still happening? And is every student still afforded the opportunity to explore their passion through the medium of their choice, be it violin, viola, cello, bass, flute, oboe, trumpet, voice, dance, painting, sculpture, poetry? It all better be there. These kids are amazing, and they need to develop their talents and their knowledge through the media that reaches them in a special way. Thank you again for being here, and we will finish up with a quick piece from our Symphony Orchestra Strings and the America the Beautiful. Have a wonderful spring break, and thank you again for all you do for the music department here.
The Churchville Schoolhouse opens the door to the best education in history. Visitors to the Churchville Schoolhouse take a step back in time to watch history unfold in a restored National Register of Historic Places property that dates to the Civil War era. Students of today walk in the footsteps of local farm children from the early days of DuPage County for an authentic living history experience led by a schoolmarm of the early 1900s. A visit to the Churchville Schoolhouse is hands-on, educational, and fun. Participants use slate chalkboards and McGuffey readers for the day's lessons. And children will be asked to follow proper classroom etiquette. Reading, writing, and arithmetic are practiced, and students test their skills during an old-fashioned spelling bee. And of course, no school day is complete without recess featuring games of the early 1900s. The schoolhouse is a popular place for scouts and day camps too. Group visits can also be arranged for service clubs, tour groups, and other adult organizations. The Churchville Schoolhouse Living History program is operated by the Elmhurst Historical Museum. Call the museum today to book a field trip or find out more information. Call 630-833-1457 or visit our website at churchvilleschoolhouse.org. The Churchville Schoolhouse is waiting to open the doors for your school or community group. Plan a memorable learning experience today for the best education in history.
Hi, I'm John Quigley, President and CEO of the Elmhurst Chamber of Commerce and Industry. In these challenging economic times, it's imperative that our residents and businesses band together to not only shop Elmhurst, but buy Elmhurst whenever possible. We have great stores in our city center, Spring Road, Butterfield Road, York and Villette Streets, St. Charles and Route 83, North Avenue and Lake Street, along North York and even Grand Avenue. I ask for your help. Let's keep our tax dollars in Elmhurst.